Now, survivors of the contaminated blood scandal should receive provisional compensation of at least £100,000 each without delay, according to the chair of the Infected Blood Inquiry. The compensation could apply to thousands of people who contracted HIV or hepatitis C in the 1970s and 80s after being given contaminated blood products. Jane Deith is in our newsroom. Jane.
Jackie, the truth is we simply don't know the true figure for the people made ill when they were given infected treatments on the NHS, but with blood products donated by people in America. They were given to haemophiliacs and people who needed blood transfusions, perhaps after childbirth or surgery. And sadly, the clotting agent they were given was made from plasma donated by Americans, including some people more likely to be carrying blood-borne viruses like HIV, namely prisoners and drug users. 2,400 people have died. Thousands more are suffering today in what campaigners say was an avoidable scandal. Today, the chairman of the official public inquiry into this disaster, Sir Brian Langstaff, intervened and said that the government should make interim compensation payments to people now before he's even concluded his inquiry. And he means infected people and bereaved partners who've lost victims. And he says they need the money now because they don't have the luxury of time. They are suffering and they are dying. And he said he agreed with Sir Robert Francis QC, who wrote a government report just last month saying essentially the same thing, that people needed money fast, and the minimum an infected person should expect to receive would be £100,000.
Sir Robert Francis QC recommended interim payments because the payment of full compensation could not be delivered quickly. He made a compelling case that interim payments are needed now to alleviate suffering and further suffering, and I agree with him.
With more than 4,000 surviving victims, just an interim payment could total £400 million. Sir Brian Langstaff, it's important to note, cannot order the government to make this payment, only recommend they do so. The government said tonight it will urgently consider what he said, but campaigners feel this is a big step in the right direction and that we're edging closer to the day where there will be an official admission of government responsibility for what they say was a complete health disaster.
Jane, thanks very much.